A masked figure steps out of the shadows of a dimly lit street, holding a flashlight over a cryptic symbol painted in white. In the late 1960s, under flickering streetlights in Northern California, someone began writing letters that would terrify an entire nation. He called himself the Zodiac. A cold police evidence room fills the screen, boxes stacked high with dusty files and black and white photographs. This channel uncovers real stories buried in classified archives, unsolved crimes, and the darkest corners of history. And tonight, we follow a killer who was never caught. A quiet lover's lane stretches under a dark sky, a parked car sitting still among tall grass. On December 20th, 1968, in Benicia, California, two teenagers were shot at close range inside their vehicle. No warning, no motive, just silence and blood. A distant police siren echoes across the empty road, fading into silence. No witnesses stepped forward, no clear direction to follow. Just a crime and a killer who vanished into the night. After the first attack, a dark roadside sits empty under distant headlights, with no witnesses and no immediate suspects. The killer had disappeared without leaving a clear trace behind. A second crime scene appears under flashing red and blue lights, investigators marking evidence near a car door. On July 4th, 1969, another couple was attacked in Vallejo. The male victim survived long enough to describe the shooter, but the face remained unknown. Inside a hospital corridor under harsh fluorescent lights, doctors moved quickly around the surviving victim. He described the attacker as calm and controlled. A payphone hangs on a wall, swinging slightly as police tape flutters nearby. Less than an hour later, a man called the police, calmly confessing to both attacks. A newspaper printing press roars as stacks of papers roll out, headlines screaming across the page. Soon after, letters arrived at major newspapers, containing strange symbols and coded messages. The sender demanded publication or promised more violence. A close-up of gloved hands opening an envelope reveals a neatly written message filled with strange symbols. Each letter felt calculated and deliberate. A close-up of a handwritten cipher fills the screen, lines of symbols replacing words entirely. One of these codes, a 408-character cipher, was solved by a schoolteacher and his wife. It revealed a chilling message about killing for pleasure. A dimly lit desk shows investigators staring at symbols, trying to connect patterns that refuse to make sense. Days turned into weeks as experts attempted to break the code. A sketch artist works on a composite drawing under a bright lamp, carefully shaping the suspect's face. Witnesses described a white male with glasses, but the details were never precise enough. A park bench sits empty under large trees as sunlight filters through the leaves. On September 27, 1969, at Lake Berryessa, a man approached a couple wearing a black hood marked with a white symbol. He tied them up before attacking without hesitation. A black hood lies abandoned on dry ground, marked with the same strange symbol seen in the letters. The killer had transformed from a hidden shooter into something far more theatrical. A blood-stained car door is shown with a message written in black ink. The killer left behind dates and locations. It was the first time he used the name Zodiac. A city street in San Francisco appears at night, taxis moving under glowing street lamps. On October 11, 1969, a taxi driver was shot and killed in Presidio Heights. Witnesses saw the suspect walking away. A quiet street corner remains under flashing lights as detectives move through the crime scene. This time, the attack happened in public, under city lights. A police radio crackles in a patrol car as officers respond to conflicting descriptions. Due to a miscommunication, the suspect was briefly stopped by police but released. A patrol car drives slowly through a dim neighborhood, unaware the suspect had just been let go minutes earlier. That single mistake became one of the most frustrating moments in the entire investigation. Stacks of letters and envelopes fill a desk, each marked with strange handwriting and symbols. The Zodiac continued sending messages, taunting investigators. A television screen shows a live broadcast from a talk show set, lights glaring overhead. In one letter, the killer threatened to attack a school bus. Fear spread rapidly. A dark room reveals investigators studying maps covered in pins and red strings. Authorities attempted to decode the remaining ciphers, but many remained unsolved for decades. A suspect board displays multiple faces connected by lines and notes. Several individuals were investigated, including Arthur Lee Allen. Despite circumstantial evidence, no definitive link could be proven. Photographs of different suspects are spread across a table, marked with notes and timelines. Every lead seemed promising at first, until it collapsed. A fingerprint card is examined under a magnifying glass, highlighting smudged patterns. Partial fingerprints were recovered from letters and crime scenes, but none matched any known suspect. A laboratory setting shows a technician analyzing old envelopes with modern equipment. DNA testing has been attempted on the Zodiac's letters. However, results have been inconclusive. A technician carefully handles an aged envelope using gloves under controlled lighting. Even decades later, science attempts to solve what investigators could not. A computer screen displays decrypted text slowly appearing from a complex code. In 2020, a team of codebreakers solved the Zodiac's 340-character cipher after 51 years. The message revealed disturbing thoughts, but no identity. An empty evidence archive stretches into darkness, shelves filled with forgotten files. Despite decades of investigation, the case remains open. A case file sits open under a dim desk lamp, filled with names that were never confirmed. Every suspect led to more questions, not answer. And every answer seemed to disappear into silence. A dark hallway stretches into the distance as footsteps echo without a visible source. Some believe the Zodiac simply stopped. Others believe he never did. A foggy San Francisco street fades into view, streetlights barely visible through the mist. The Zodiac Killer vanished as suddenly as he appeared, leaving behind fear, questions, and a trail of cryptic clues. If you want to uncover more real stories hidden behind classified secrets and unsolved mysteries, subscribe now. Because the next investigation takes us somewhere even stranger. A quiet town sits under a gray sky, smoke rising faintly from cracks in the ground. Streets abandoned, homes left behind, and a fire that has been burning for over 60 years. A warning sign stands at the edge of an empty road, reading "Danger" in faded letters. Beneath the surface, something continues to burn. A cracked highway stretches into the distance, steam rising through broken asphalt. Centralia, Pennsylvania, hides a story that refuses to die. Stay with us,